So I was destined to be here today. How could I not? I'm a Black woman, born in a year that I'm not going to share with you because we just met. Right? But I will tell you that I was born in Newark, New Jersey in the aftermath of the riots. The corners were literally in flames and smoldering. But I was born to the most extraordinary woman who was years ahead of her time. But she gave birth to me at the age of 18 as a single mom when the world did not view that as a blessed event. I was one of the first to attend a charter school in Newark, and I quickly earned the label of precocious. Right? So having skills and ability far beyond my years. This is actually code word for I was a bit of a badass, right? It was a handful. Right? So how is it that I'm standing here today? Well, I had a secret weapon, right? A dream team. Because often we think it's about skills and abilities, and yes, those are important, but that's just the basic calling card. A dream team is the difference between success and failure, confidence and insecurity, a sense of belonging and disenfranchisement. So I define a dream team as my teenage boys would say, your personal squad, right? Your personal board of advisors, each with a role, but all focused on your success. Put another way, it's who's putting the extra weight on your scale. So my mom was the first member of my dream team, and you can imagine how she had to advocate for me in a world that was prepared to underestimate me at every turn. And I can tell you, when my mom walked into the school, no one wanted to see Miss Barbara because they knew that they were going to get it, right? And I can tell you that there's probably several teachers in my kids' school that didn't want to see me either because, like mother, like daughter. Right? So when your parents told you that you will be judged by the company you keep, it's true. Except for when you're an adult or in your career, the stakes are so much higher. Right? So if you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with, I suspect that many of you need to do just a little bit of editing. So what we need is a new paradigm for mentorship. Because often we think that if we have a mentor or if we have mentorship in the workplace, that that's going to solve our ails. And it's actually not. Because no one, but no one wants this. Will you be my mentor? Right? No one wants to get that call, right? It's too heavy. And besides, it's like saying, well, can we go steady, right? And nobody says that anymore, right? So what I want you to think about is actually codifying your network, right? So think about little bite-sized ways that people can have a role so that you can have the right ask of the right person at the right frequency of touch. And there's actually 6 types of advisors. So the first is the mentor, right? And this is what we all know about. You control this relationship. This is your career strategist. Lots and lots of frequency of touch. The transformative role is that of a sponsor. So this is someone who talks about you. This is your personal rainmaker, someone who opens doors to the opportunities that you want. And in fact, there's actually a documented sponsor effect. Those that have sponsors accrue a benefit of 22 to 30% more in terms of compensation and career progression. And if you are a person of color, it's actually 65%. And then you have the connector. So this is someone who knows everybody, and they're willing to pick up the phone on your behalf. Or perhaps it's the point expert. So this is someone who can go 5, 10, 15 questions deep in your area of expertise, and they're willing to share that knowledge with you to help move you forward. And everyone needs the close friend, right? So this is someone where you can do the ugly cry, like the whole snot and everything coming down, right? We all need this person. And then you have the coach. It wasn't until I was well on in my career that I realized how transformative having someone like that in your corner can be. But I would tell you that there's actually a 7th seat. And this is a seat that is conspicuously missing too many times, but not intentionally. And that is the role of the company. Because in this era of self-serve career or you must take responsibility, we have forgotten to give them the tools and the resources and the Lisa Skeete Tatum mama advocacy they need in order to move forward. So consider this. Men and women start out with the same ambition, right? But after 2 years, there's a 50% drop for women in terms of their ambition and their confidence. And it has nothing, I mean nothing, to do with personal situation. And it has everything to do with, do I have the access and the resources I need? And too often, that answer is no. And that's why we see the retention issues and the lack of career progression. And I have to tell you, if I did not have my squad, I would not be standing here today, right? And you will notice that most of them don't look like me, because if they did, I'd probably have a beard, right? But these are folks that have been working both in front and behind the scenes to help pave the way for me. Because without them, however, could a young black girl from Newark, New Jersey have the audacity to dream about things that I didn't even know existed, right? To go on and attend a great university and to break into venture capital and be standing here as a founder of my tech company and to be a wife and hopefully a really great mother. Because like so many of you, my career path has been quite the journey. And as an entrepreneur, there are extreme highs and equally extreme lows, sometimes in the same minute, right? And there have been times when you work so hard and you sacrifice and you get somewhere and you're like, is this it, right? All of that sacrifice and this is it? I want more, but you don't know what the more is, right? Or you're working so hard to achieve something and you have no idea how you're going to get there. And that is the power of having a dream team, because they can help you unleash the possibilities. Which is why, if you want to progress, you have to surround yourself with people that have higher expectations than you have of yourself, including your company, because they create the environment for you to take the risk that you need in order to break through. Now, this is the right thing to do, right? But that's not the only reason that you do it. There's an economic imperative to doing so. Companies that have gender diversity are 15% more likely to outperform their peers. And those that have ethnic diversity are 35% more likely. These are real numbers. So I would submit to you that we are in a new world order. And what's happened in the past will no longer be sufficient or tolerated in the future, because technology has changed the game and personalization is everything. So when you think about how do you invest in your talent, it's really about a one-size-fits-one. How do you give each and every person what they need when they need it on their terms in order to move forward? Which requires us to democratize career success and access beyond the top of the pyramid. Because what we find is often that's where all the good stuff, all the really important investment goes. And if you do that, then you miss out on taking advantage of your most valuable untapped resource, and that's your workplace and your workforce. So I would ask, how are you putting the extra weight on the scale of each and every person in your organization? Because I guarantee if you do that, then the talent that you unlock will be well worth the ROI. Thank you very much.